party began. Chiang Kai-Shek emerged the victor. In June 1926, he was appointed Commander-in-Chief of the Northern Expedition, the campaign to unite the country. A month later, the young army set out. Full of patriotic enthusiasm, they won victory after victory. In just 6 months, they defeated 34 warlords, and they swept up to central China.
All along the way, the people welcomed us. For example, they would boil water and cook sweet potatoes by the side of the road where our troops were passing. They would say, "Brothers, come and eat and drink. Help yourselves." The army was well disciplined then. And so the soldiers and the officers, they always paid for whatever they ate and drank.
When the Northern Expedition Army reached our region, they held mass rallies. Everybody went. At the rallies, speakers talked about the cooperation between the nationalists and the communists. They called for the defeat of the northern warlords and the imperialists, and they asked peasants not to pay land rent and debts. I didn't know much about revolutions then. I didn't know a thing about communism or opposing imperialism. But it seemed like a good idea to fight exploitation and the northern warlords.
Many in the Army's propaganda teams were communists. They explained the goals of the Northern Expedition, and they called for the end of many deeply ingrained social customs. Wang Ping soon joined the communists.
We knocked down Buddha statues in the temples. Foot binding was still popular where I lived, and we urged young girls not to bind their feet, and women who had already done it to undo their feet. At first, we didn't know better, and often we ordered people to do things against their will. If a young woman refused to cut her hair, several of us would hold her and cut it anyway.
I didn't know what they were up to, communism or whatever, but I saw that they made trouble. They tried to destroy our religion, our family system, and our ethical structure. For instance, young people's respect for the old. My father told me that the biggest fault of communism was that it was inhuman. So what seemed to be cooperation between the nationalists and the communists during the Northern Expedition was actually only our temporary concession.
So we wanted to purge the party, but it was a pretty dangerous thing to do. We could have been finished off. Both sides might move at the same time. The communists were all among us. The problem was how to do the purge.
Chiang planned to purge the communists when his army reached Shanghai. Here, communist workers, led by Zhou Enlai, had formed armed guards and taken control of the city. They were completely unaware of Chiang's plan to break them, and they eagerly waited for his army to arrive. nationalist troops moved into Shanghai. Chiang struck on April 12, 1927.
About 1 in the morning, I saw some guys in plain clothes run over. Our guards asked them the passwords, and they began to shoot. We were already surrounded from all sides, and there were machine guns positioned at the intersections on the streets. They were standing there. Back at headquarters, all our weapons were taken away. They warned us, your workers' guards are disbanded. Go home and don't make trouble.
Chiang Kai-Shek's army was in firm control of Shanghai. Communists and workers held a huge demonstration to protest the betrayal.
There were about 100,000 workers there. They marched down the street towards the machine guns, which fired. And immediately more than 100 people died. Many more were wounded. Many were injured. It was raining that day. Lashan Road was a river of blood.
I remember it was drizzling, and I saw many people lying in the mud, still moving. It was very sad. When they arrested us, they beat us with rifle butts. Yes, rifle butts. Some of us were hit on the head and were bleeding. Even then, all we said was, good. That was how we showed our defiance. So they hit us and we said, good, good, and we grit our teeth.
Chiang's purge spread around the country. Unions were closed. Communists and left-wing organizers were arrested. Thousands were executed.